Today, the two men accused of shooting 5 people on Good Friday appeared in court.
Tulsa County District Attorney Tim Harris says this case is the highest priority for the Tulsa County District Attorney's office.
I would say this community will not be defined by the treacherous, evil crimes of 2 individuals. That's not what Tulsa, Oklahoma is about, and that's not what our people are about.
Police arrested 19-year-old Jake England and 32-year-old Alvin Watts early Sunday morning in Turley. Each suspect is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of shooting with intent to kill, as well as 1 count of possessing a firearm. Now, a judge issued a bond of almost $10 million for each of the men. Tonight, both England and Watts remain in jail.
Our team is following this story tonight. 2 News reporter Patricia Santos spoke with one of the victims. We'll hear exactly what happened when he was shot early Friday morning. First, 2 News reporter Casey Roebuck is live at the Tulsa County Jail. She spent the day finding out about the accused gunman.
Well, Karen, I spoke with a family that has known 2 generations of the England family, and they say the murders were not about race. Instead, they say the suspect simply snapped.
Still hasn't sunk in yet. It hasn't sunk in. I'm still trying to, come to grips with it.
Aaron Willis has known Jake England since he was a little boy. Willis's family property backs up to the Turley home where Jake lived with his family and where his father Carl lived before that.
Daddy raised him chopping wood all his life. And, we chop wood together and, we sit up and we had bonfires together, had cookouts together.
Aaron says Jake England and Alvin Watts were at his home Saturday afternoon, but he had no idea police were searching for them in connection to the shooting spree the day before, until, he says, Watts made a stunning confession.
I asked him why he was running, and then he told me that he was running because the police was coming, and I didn't understand why he's running from the police. Then the other guy said, I shot 5 people. I said, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it.
Minutes later, someone picked the men up. Before leaving, England told Aaron something.
And before his ride came, he said, I love you. And he left. And then I heard the news, and then I started putting it all together.
Willis and his mother say the racial slurs on England's Facebook page and the charges of racism as the motivation for the shootings don't fit with a young man they know.
He wasn't thinking. I just feel like he was so hurt with the way his life was, He snapped.
2 years ago, Jake's father, Carl, was shot and killed in front of Jake and his sisters at the Comanche Park Apartments. The shooting was ruled self-defense and no charges were filed in that case. In January, Jake's fiancée and the mother to his newborn son shot and killed herself in the couple's home, where Alvin Watts also lived.
In my heart, I just don't feel like this is racial. I just feel like he was very impulsive, he wasn't thinking, and he just jumped the gun.
Now, the Ellis family was actually pulled into this investigation because they believe Alvin Watts left an important piece of evidence on their property. I'll have that part of the story coming up at 6. Live in downtown Tulsa, Casey Roebuck, 2 News works for you.
Interesting developments. Casey, thanks. Now, continuing our team coverage this evening, 2 News reporter Patricia Santos spoke with 2 men who were gunned down Friday morning. Patricia?
Well, David Hall is still recovering in the hospital from a gunshot wound to the stomach. His friend, however, 44-year-old Dion Tucker, was released from the hospital over the weekend, and today he shared details with us about that shooting.
Homeboy, he was sitting right there. But when he started shooting, he jumped up. A bullet went right there.
That bullet just missed David Hall's head.
When he started shooting, I just jumped off the porch and jumped behind my truck. That way he couldn't hit me.
44-year-old Dion Tucker says 2 men in a pickup truck opened fire at him after they stopped to ask for directions.
He come from around that corner and stopped right there.
Tucker was standing outside his front porch in the 1300 block of East 51st Place North.
As he shot us, he sped off. And like I say, like a minute later, I heard 3 more shots.
Tucker was shot on the shoulder. His friend Hall was shot in the stomach and is still in the hospital. Tulsa police have arrested these 2 men in connection to Friday's shooting spree.
At first, I couldn't figure it out. Because like I said, I don't have no enemies.
Despite the close call, Tucker is not holding any grudges.
I ain't mad. I hate he shot me, but I ain't mad at nobody. It was just a fluke accident. You got caught in the rafter or somebody that was upset.
He's hoping people don't use this tragedy to divide the community.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. But go be a vigilante, and that ain't gonna change nothing.
I spoke with David Hall over the phone, and he tells me he is still in a lot of pain. Coming up tonight at 6, you will get to hear from some of his other friends. Live in North Tulsa, Patricia Santos, 2 News, works for you.
Police continue to investigate those shootings. At this point, the suspects have not been charged with a hate crime, but the Tulsa County District Attorney says if the evidence supports that charge, he will file. Today, U.S. Attorney Thomas Woodward released this statement. He says his office is looking at possible federal charges and will work with state, local, and federal departments. He says the U.S. Attorney's Office will continue to support the ongoing investigation and prosecution.